Okay, so I'm going to just talk you through this exercise. It looks a bit weird because I'm facing the other way, but it's a really good isolation for the top of the hamstrings, that hamstring glute tie-in that a lot of people can't get. So for this, the aim is keep the knees squeezed together. So the knees come together. If the knees slip out, it changes the angle. So knees together, feet go flat, facing, and what I'm going to get to do is squeeze and hold. Squeeze and hold. And I do 4 sets of 20 of this. Okay, I'm going to get Elsie to jump on now. Okay, Elsie. So put the knees together. Feet go flat. So bring your knees together. Right together so your knees touch. That's it. And you're going to squeeze right in and you should feel a really good contraction around here. Good. And this you'll find is really a muscle that you just can't target, and it's really weak compared to when you do squatting or any other isolation. It's so isolated, but it works that muscle that you can't ever reach. And when you do it, you'll feel it squeeze the knees back together. So you have to take the knees back together every time. Good. Again, as soon as those knees come apart, it changes the position. So knees together, you just feel right here. Feel it really deep. Yeah, good. Do 20 of these. Okay, 2 more. Excellent, well done. Like we did with hamstrings, we're going to work single legs again. Especially in machines like this, you tend to find that you overcompensate one to the other, and often if you look at the machine, the pad actually is a little bit out as well. So the reason that we work single legs is so that we can isolate just on one of the quads. So the other one can come away, sitting up. I don't want this holding on or lifting up. It's got to be coming from a really deep position. So the movement that's going to happen is the toes coming down, like with a footballer, how they've got separation in their quads. What we're going to do is start with the toe coming down, and on the way up, just turn the toe out, coming down and back up and turn. Aiming for 3 seconds, 3 seconds up, 3 seconds down. That slow, isolated contraction will work all the parts of the quadricep, rather than just doing a straight up, straight down, which will focus just on the middle. So, sitting here, put your hands wherever you want, as long as they're not holding and pulling. Toes in, coming up and squeeze. Coming back down, really controlled. 10 reps of this, up. You'll feel all at the top end here, and then when you get to the top and that squeeze will work the teardrop there, and that's where you get the definition. Okay, then the other leg, exactly the same. You'll have one leg that's stronger than the other, maybe, and this is why we work single legs. Breathing in and breathing out, squeezing. Okay, and superset this. I'm going to get Ildi to superset this next with a single leg split squat. But with a single leg split squat, what I'm going to get Ildi to do is take it a little bit wider than normal, keeping the head up, the chest up, okay, because often the chest comes down, especially if we're tight around the hip area. So, coming down, it's 3 movements. Down is 1, back is 2, and then power up 3. Down, back, deep, and up. Down, back, and firing up. And what you'll feel is a good stretch in here. Don't let the chest come down. That's the variation exercise. If we want to vary it, what we can do, exactly the same position. Chest up, head up, down, back, lean forward, get a good stretch, then power up. But what we're getting Ildi to do is just this one today. Down. You can use weights if you find this is too easy, but I think without weights is how you should start off. The reason that you start off without weights is because you're really tight around these hip flexors, and this is where it's going to be really difficult to keep that position, maintain that straight back. Okay? We're doing a leg press just with a different, little different twist on this. It gets a really good pump in those quads, but also the other leg, you'll see in a minute, the other leg's working just as hard, but in a different area. So, seat position, it's not completely flat, it's got a slight, but you're not sat upright. So, Ilse, if you just come and sit here, I'm going to just talk you through how you're going to do this. So, what I want you to do is I want you to put one leg high. Okay, and the other leg is going to sit lower. Take the feet a tiny bit wider. So your feet position is just about shoulder width apart. That one needs to come in a tiny bit. Okay, what I'm going to get Ildi to do is this leg is going to be working more the outside. And this one, because it's a short contraction, you're going to get a pump on this thigh. Okay, so the leg, if you take the weight, we're going to aim for 4 sets of 20 and we're going to superset this. Push the weight up, that's it. Okay, so come down to there and push up. Okay, and you should feel this one maintains the squeeze, the contraction, and this one's doing, but both of them are working just as hard. Good. Go a tiny bit bit faster. And like I say, both legs are working just as hard, just differently. You'll feel this one more, a little bit more on the outside, but again, it's still targeting those quads. I like to do high reps on this. You get a good build-up of lactic acid, a good pump in the legs, and then switch over. Good. Feel that working hard? Yeah? Again, you can change your foot position, your foot angles, just to target the quads, 4 parts of the muscle. You can work different areas. You can turn your toes out, turn your toes in, keep your toes straight, go narrow. That's good, that, Ildi. Okay, and we're going to, last one. Perfect. Okay, push up. Okay, so, Ildi, we're going to take you through a leg session today. Starting off, normally most people start on quads and they forget that the hamstrings then the quads become tired and the hamstrings can't lift as much. So today we're going to start on hamstrings. So first exercise that we're going to do is kind of a cross between a squat, a good morning, and a sumo squat. And it's wide leg, and what you're aiming for is sitting right back and just touching the inside of the thighs, but not forgetting to squeeze the glutes at the top. Because a lot of people, when they're training, just finish here. So that squeeze at the top will just work the top of the glutes as well. So if you jump on, doing 4 sets of 20 on this. You can do lighter, heavier, and do less reps. Sit a little bit further back. Okay, and legs wider. Okay, and you're going to aim to sit back onto my hands as far as you can. Good. Touch and then up and squeeze. Good. Going to go for 20 reps of these. Nice and slow. The aim is to do slow and time under tension, coming down. Keeping the head and the chest up. And the chest comes down, the chest goes back up. Perfect. Nice. Technique's perfect, just a little bit more squeeze and a little bit more hips underneath at the top end. Really concentrate on those hips coming through. Speed's perfect. Okay, do 6 more. Challenge every time to try and go a little bit further back and trust the there you go. Trust the hamstrings to get you back up. Head up, chest up, good. Chest comes down. Head up, chest up, perfect. 2 more, 1, 2, and walk it in. Excellent. So 4 sets of this. In between the 4 sets, taking about a minute's rest. Yeah, how was that?
Yeah, good.
Good. I'm going to now take you through hamstring curl. We've just done the squats over there, and now we're going to do the hamstrings. Really focus on isolating those hamstrings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you to sit on here first. If you lay down, you can do this on a seated as well. first thing that we do, here you've got the handles, but we're not using the handles because you tend to pull. So I want you to either put your hands here, just on there's a little lip here that you can either hang them on, or you can just put your hands on top of there, whatever's comfy. But I put my hands under here because what I tend to find is when you're using the hamstrings that you lift your hips up. So this makes sure that you're digging your hips or your thighs into your hands, so you're aware that whether your hips go up or not. If your hips do go up, the weight's too heavy. So we're just isolating the contraction just on the hamstrings, trying not to use the lower back or the glutes. So we're going to do 7 singles on the other leg, 7 doubles to start off with, 7 singles, then back to 7 doubles, okay? Cool. So doubles to start. Excellent. If you notice, Hildy's just keeping her hips right down. The minute the hips start going up, you're not using your hamstrings. 4. And you can see, same speed going up, it's the same speed going down, taking about 1, 2, 3 seconds to come up, squeezing. And again, if you're only half rep into here and not the full way, the weight's too heavy. Okay, so 7 singles, exactly the same, hips down, head down, not holding on. 5, 2 more, 6, 7, then changing over. The reason that we do singles midway through the set is because you tend to find, especially on a machine, when you're doing 2 legs together, one will work harder than the other. So they'll always have a stronger side which will overcompensate. So if we do the singles, you can just see how weak one side is compared to the other. Good, and breathing through. Okay, back to 7 doubles. And what we see, if you're feeling it too much in the calves, if you pull your toes towards your knees, the other way, so pull your toes downwards, it'll take it out of your calves and it'll just isolate again into the hamstrings, which is where you should be feeling it. That's excellent, Hildy. Perfect range all the way up, all the way down, no half reps. Good. Okay, and relax. How was that? Good. Good? Feel it just on the hamstrings? Excellent, well done.